Ah, shit! I'm late!
Ugo! Wait, are you about to leave?
Yes! I've got to be at the lab in 5 to go pick up my Pokemon, or else all the starters will be gone, and I'll be stuck with some...
Brother, it's 2026. You know you can just order it for curbside pickup, right?
Oh. Damn, that's hella cool. Growing up, aside from seasons of the anime I peeped over the years, I never really got into Pokemon. Now, I did have a copy of Pokemon X that I got when I was like maybe 12, and while I did make some decent progress, I never got anywhere close to completing it, or really even understanding it. I would always get really confused about stuff, like my Pokemon not always going first, or maybe my Pokemon on my team wanted to learn a move that didn't deal damage. I would never let it because I didn't understand why I'd want to. See, I had always wanted to get into the franchise. When I got a Nintendo Switch, I told myself that I'd bite whenever the Switch got its mainline game. But every time that happened, there was always some shit. So I waited. And when Pokemon 30 rolled around, Gen 10 was announced to be a little ways of a wait away, but I peeped that Fire Red and Leaf Green were put on the Switch. And so, I thought in anticipation of the new games, it was the best time to try my hand at playing a Pokemon game, from start to finish. So, like any sensible person, I paid $1 for each year the game had aged, and booted it up. And just like that, I set forth on my first official intentional playthrough of a Pokemon game.
You know, you can just pick any of them. It's really not that deep of a choice.
Well, that's rich coming from the person that's supposed to be my rival.
Rival? I'm your best friend. Why would I deliberately say or do something that would be to your disadvantage?
Well, in that case, I think I'm gonna go with Squirtle. You know, switch it up from my over-reliance on the color red.
Bet. Well, in that case, I think I'm gonna go with Bulbasaur.
You're an asshole. After selecting my starter and fumbling some Pokemon in Viridian Forest, one of the first things that I immediately noticed was how well Fire Red and Leaf Green have aged, at least in terms of presentation. While the games, of course, suffer from the limitations of the times that they were released, I was really impressed with how well the art held up. It's a small and subjective thing, yes, but I found the sprite work to be so charming. So much so that I don't think I would mind playing an HD 2D mainline Pokemon game. Sort of like Black and White, but on modern hardware, with even more attention to detail. But of course, my journey throughout Kanto was not just about me looking at all the pretty flowers. If it was, me and all those wild encounters would probably be much more acquainted. I was actively trying to be intentional about growing and leveling my team, being mindful of each Mon's strengths and weaknesses, and making sure I was at least mostly open to exploring and fighting all the trainers I crossed paths with.
Nigga, please explain this.
I'm cooking! There's just something about strategizing during a battle that's addicting. You get to choose just how much you want to immerse yourself into the game's mechanics at any time. One night on stream, we might have been burning through trainers left and right. But on another night, we'd round the committee together to call plays like we're down 20 in the fourth quarter. While the game does have its unexpected difficulty spikes, like with certain rival and trainer battles, these put me in situations where I really had to be intentional with my team makeup, whether that was subbing certain mons in and out, using TMs to my advantage, or maybe grinding them up. And yes, I'm aware that this is just naturally how Pokemon games play, but for me to experience it firsthand, especially as an adult who could make sense of the game's mechanics, I just thought it was really cool. And I say that as someone that despises a lot of traditional RPG elements. I honestly really didn't mind them here because they felt purposeful, even if outdated. Some of the puzzles and caves might have been kind of ass to go through, but it did feel like I was actively exploring and navigating through a real place. What in the fuck am I looking at right now, bro? In fact, those experiences, I would say, made my big moments feel even bigger, because it felt like I actively worked on something to achieve it. I evolved my starter to its final form. I took down Giovanni after several run-ins with him and his team. I encountered and caught not one, but 4 legendary Pokemon. And I defeated the Elite Four on my first try, against all odds. And you could tell it took an arm and a leg because I had no business walking my weak ass team to victory road. Each of these moments made it feel like I had really done something monumental. Every big milestone felt like another big step towards navigating such a vast place. Something that I rarely feel when I play video games nowadays. It felt like everything I was doing was building towards something greater than me. A big climactic finale that made me really go, wow, we really made it here from nothing. Damn.
Took you long enough.
I literally just saw you outside of here like 10 minutes ago. How the hell did you become champion that fast?
I walked in, did my shit, and became the Pokemon master of the world. How'd your dumbass get here?
My dumbass took the elevator.
Damn.
Though it took a couple of tries, I defeated the final boss in the same way Ash Ketchum defeated Brock. On some complete bullshit. My entire team was down, and I was certain my Blastoise was not going to survive another blow. But through the strength of our bond and the power of RNG, I sent that nigga to the moon! Got your ass! But that's what it's all about. That feeling of defeating your rival and taking the title of champion had me waking up the next day thinking the money I won was real. Seeing those credits roll and thinking back on everything it took to get me to that point felt like I was looking back on a true story. One with ups and downs, yeah, but with many laughs and smiles too. I loved playing through Fire Red. As excited as I was to complete it, I think I'm even more excited to know that this was truly just the start of me experiencing the franchise, and that I have so many more iconic titles to pick up, play through, and finally understand just why they're so beloved. So even though it would have been nice to have grown up playing these games in their heyday, I'm glad I get to understand and appreciate them as I do now. I might be 30 years late, but after playing this, I can definitely say it truly is better to be late than never. Plus, waiting this long means y'all already did the hard part of figuring all this shit out. Cause if somebody didn't tell me to save before finding Articuno, this would be a different conversation.